Schedule a free design consultation, and the more you buy, the more you'll save on blinds, shades, shutters, and more from Budget Blinds. Visit budgetblinds.com today.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Impaired driving causes between 1,200 and 1,600 deaths a year in Canada. This according to Families for Justice, a group dedicated to helping those who've lost loved ones to impaired drivers. They're also petitioning to make the penalties for the crime more severe. Jeremy Thompson reports.
Cassandra Collius was driving home from her softball game in 2011 when she was hit and killed by an impaired driver. The woman who killed her pled guilty and spent 2 years in jail. Cassandra's mother, Marquita Collius, started Families for Justice a few months after her daughter's death.
We knew that there would be other families who were experiencing this type of crime and, kind of wanted to know how do you get through this when you've lost a child.
But the group doesn't just provide support. Collius started a petition asking for signatures to demand change from the Canadian government. It hasn't been easy, though, as Collius found out. The government doesn't accept online petitions.
It would have been so much easier to do, but we're not. We've literally had to go out and tell our story and some of the other stories of the families 87,000 times now.
Anytime there's files or calls for service that have that grave of impact, we are very cognizant of those, and we take a lot of care in dealing with those situations.
Constable Grant Kersinger says impaired driving is an offence the RCMP take very seriously, especially when the offender has multiple convictions.
This is something that the courts recognize and take into consideration when sentencing and conducting trials.
According to Collius, the maximum penalty for driving while impaired and causing death is 14 years in jail.
No one in Canada has ever gotten that. The most that we could find was a sentence literally of 8 years, 8.5 years, and that was for a man who had received his 20th impaired driving charge.
Families for Justice wants the charge redefined as vehicular manslaughter or homicide in the Criminal Code of Canada, and to carry with it a minimum mandatory sentence of 5 years in prison.
I've had many families say they don't know which has been worse, the loss of their loved one or the re-victimization by the justice system. We don't call it a justice system anymore. We call it a legal system.
Jeremy Thompson, Newcap News.
And a woman from Lloydminster will be taking signed petitions to Battlefords MP Jerry Ritz. If you'd like to sign, it's available on the Families for Justice Facebook page. You can contact Martina Sapach at 307-821-0663. French immersion students in Lloydminster are getting a taste of Quebec culture this week as they celebrate Carnival. And this week's Beyond the Classroom, Bart Pediasek gives us an inside look at the opening ceremonies at École Saint Thomas and just what this winter festival is all about.
The gym at École Saint Thomas is more rowdy than usual as Carnival kicks off.
The opening ceremonies is a lot about making noise and just being together and starting off something fun.
Un très joyeux carnaval! The week-long celebration is to commemorate Quebec's version, which has been going on since the early 1890s, as a chance to celebrate before Lent. Today, it's grown into the largest winter carnival in the world. École Saint Thomas' version is much smaller in comparison, but there are still plenty of things to do and see as the school hosts a combination of indoor and outdoor events.
We play like some tag and some things outside. Sometimes we have like games with little St. Cyril with like belts and you have to pull them off.
What's your favorite activity? What's the thing you're most looking forward to?
Cheer.
And what is that?
It's snow with hot maple syrup on it.
And why do you like that?
Because it's really good.
And at the end of the day, it's more than just fun and games, as staff are using the week's activities in their lesson plans.
Even more so than just Quebec culture, just being able to live in French and being proud to communicate in a second language. We have a lot of students here that French isn't their second language, it's their third language or fourth language. And we have some families that speak French all the time. So our students come here to learn French, and we want them to be proud of it.
We're learning French, so I think we should know about the language and about their culture.
Bart Pediasek, Newcap News.
People are shining their sleighs and getting their horses ready for what will hopefully be a warm winter ride. The annual Cutter Rally for Cancer will take place at the end of February to to raise money for the Canadian Cancer Society and Prairie North Health Region.
To date, I think we have raised approximately $80,000 over the 12 years.
There are many ways for everyone to be involved as a sleigh driver or passenger or rider on horseback or as a ghost hand where you don't have to be there but you can still win the grand prize. Winning depends on how lucky teams are at throwing the dice.
They'll bring their horses, their sleighs, cutters, whatever, and hook up and off they go on the trail. You will shake the dice when you are here and register. You'll get one shake here and you have 3 more shakes out on the trail and then your final shake is here. The highest roll of the dice is the winner.
The winning team gets to choose between a cutter, $2,500 to Carlson Vaughan travel, a harness set, or $2,000 cash. With 34 teams last year, WIST is expecting they can top that.
From Edmonton, Rocky Mountain House, Saskatoon, Tisdale, Saskatchewan, so the word is out. There's a lot of people interested.